Hello, my name is Tracy Allen, and I want to welcome you to Cooking with Some Friends. Hello and welcome to Cooking with Some Friends. I'm going to make some leftover roast beef vegetable soup. And so it's super simple. We had roast the other day and I like to make up more than one roast at a time just so I have it left over to do other things with. And so we made some roast beef salad with some of it, and then I reserved some of it so I could make vegetable soup. And I like hamburger vegetable soup more, but my husband likes it, but he also likes this kind of vegetable soup. So that's what we're having tonight. So in my soup, I reserved, when I made my roast, I reserved about a quart or maybe a little bit more of the broth off the roast as it cooked, and also some of the fat and the drippings, and you can kind of see some of that in here. So I'm heating that up now to make my soup. I also have parboiled about 2 potatoes that I went ahead and chunked up and cooked those. And then I did about 2 carrots that I sliced up and cooked as well. I also have some of our homegrown green beans. I'm going to put these in, but you could use a can of purchased green beans if you don't have homegrown. I also have that I'm going to put in about a half a bag of frozen peas, about a half a bag of frozen corn. I'm going to add some diced tomatoes. The roast beef that I had left over, I went ahead and I kind of chunked that up. And I have at least a half a pound of that. If you have more than that, that's great. But you're gonna need at least a half a pound of the beef that's left over. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic powder, onion powder. You could do real onion if you would rather instead of the onion powder. And I have some diced tomatoes that I'm gonna put in. And if you want to, it's totally optional. You could just put a dash of chili powder. It just kind of gives it a little bit of a kick. And sometimes, and depending on what my soup looks like as I go, I like to add some tomato sauce too, just to give it more of a tomato base. But we're gonna look at the soup as it cooks and we're gonna decide whether it needs that tomato base or not. So I'm just waiting for this to heat up until all the fat is melted down. Once that's done, I can go ahead and just pour everything in, bring that up to a boil, and then drop it to a simmer for 10 or 15 minutes, and then it's done, it's ready. So I can go ahead and add my seasonings now if I want to. So I'm just gonna add a little bit, about a quarter of a teaspoon of onion powder, about the same amount of garlic powder. And I am going to add just a dash of chili powder. And you don't want too much of this because we're making soup, not chili. Okay. So like I said, now I'm just waiting for that fat to melt down and for this to come up to temperature before I add everything. And it really doesn't take long. You can put your temperature up pretty high. But we like roast beef sandwiches, just regular roast beef sandwiches, but this just, on cold winter nights, it's always nice to have some soup to eat. And we like potato soup and baked potato soup, and we have a ham and bean soup we like, and like I said, hamburger vegetable, some broccoli cauliflower cheese soup, lots of different soups that we like. Chili, which is also good on a cold night. So, and we've had a lot of cold here, so and snow, more than we normally have this time of year as far as the snow, but the cold we get. Okay, so all the fat has melted down, has dissolved in that heat. So now I can go ahead and start adding those vegetables. There's my potatoes that I cooked, my carrots that I cooked, my green beans, tomatoes. And we like petite diced, but you can just use diced if you have those. My peas. Just half of my bag of corn. And if you're using frozen from the store, it'd be the same. You just use anywhere from a quarter to a half a bag. And then my leftover roast beef. So I want to bring this up to a boil. And then we can let it simmer. Like I said, if you like a more tomato-y soup, you can go ahead at this point and add your tomato sauce. And I'm going to go ahead and add some in just to give it more of a tomato flavor. Okay, so all we have left is the boil, the simmer, and serve. Healthy but easy leftover vegetable beef soup. Our soup has come up to a boil, so now I'm ready to drop the heat down, let it simmer for 10 or 15 minutes, and then we will go ahead and eat. Hello and welcome to Cooking with Some Friends. Jake and the kids are here for lunch, but I didn't know he would come prepared with his Cooking with Some Friends shirt, so I enlisted him to help me. So we're making a seafood salad that we're gonna have. We have a roast beef salad and a seafood salad, and then some cold cuts, and we're just gonna do sandwiches today. So he's gonna help me put together our seafood salad, and we've already started in a pan of salted water. I brought it to a boil and then quartered a lemon, and we put that in there, and then we cooked our raw shrimp for a couple of minutes, and then immediately put that in ice water. Now we're ready to drain it, and I'm gonna let Jake go through the rest of it, and I'll walk him through it. Okay, so he's gonna drain the cooked shrimp, and then he's gonna put it on that paper towel and pat it dry. And that's just so the dressings and everything will stick to it a little bit better. He's such a happy cooker, isn't he?
I am thrilled all the time. So I'm ready for the end result.
Yep. Okay, so then he's gonna put that back in the bigger bowl. You don't trust the paper towels, do you?
I don't at all. I buy cheap paper towels at home. I've learned not to trust them.
And he went ahead earlier and shredded up about 8 ounces of crab meat, and he's going to put that in with the shrimp.
And if it is fake crab.
Yes. If we could only get the grandkids to be a little more quiet, huh? Then we've chopped up about a half a cup of celery. It's right there.
So you moved it on me.
And a little bit of onion. So those go in. And we have 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. A half a cup of mayo.
So a little helper.
We need about a half a teaspoon of Old Bay.
Should I eyeball up?
Yeah. Lila, will you go tell them to be quiet downstairs? And and some salt and pepper, and that's to taste. So, and there's fresh pepper if you want it, but yeah, Grandpa's going down to see what's going on. And at this point, you could also add, we have some fresh dill. We're not going to add it, but you could add a little bit of fresh dill, maybe about a tablespoon. But now we're just ready to mix it up, cover it, refrigerate it, and then we'll serve it when we're ready for it. Thanks for joining us for this session of Cooking with Some Friends. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And find us on Facebook at Cooking with Some Friends.